What's up, folks? It's June 5th. I hope everybody's doing well. Doing great, having a great day. It's about to rain. He said overnight they're going to take, in Virginia, the Virginia governor said he's going to take down the Confederate statue of Robert E. Lee, the memorial. Great. No problem with that. No man should be idolized. But you take that one down. You need to go ahead and take down Mount Rushmore. You need to take down Stone Mountain. You need to take down the Lincoln Memorial. And you need to take down all the Martin Luther King statues as well. In fact, strike his name off of every shitty part of town that his name's on a road sign. No man should be idolized. You hold no man to that level. You can't pick and choose. You either put them all up or you take them all the fuck down. No man is greater than another man. You know, the ACLU and the NAACP came to my hometown a couple years ago. Came twice. They went to my high school and they wanted to remove, and I've spoke of this before, they wanted to remove the mascot and the name of the school. The school is the Effingham County Rebels. Now, when I started high school, way back when, it was just coming out of segregation. That was something to see. And throughout high school, the white folk had one side of the cafeteria, black folk had the other. They walked on one side of the school, the others walked on the other. It's just the way things were down here in the South. But there was no disrespect, there was no race wars or anything like that, and everybody got the fuck along. It was amazing. But those organizations come down here and they wanted to strip the school of the name, and they wanted to remove the flag, which was the Confederate rebel flag, and they wanted to remove the mascot, which was, the mascot was a guy who dressed up in a Confederate soldier uniform and paraded up and down the football field or baseball field or basketball games waving this big, 3x5, 4x6 Confederate flag. And Ray ran up and down the damn field every football game. My high school diploma has 5 Confederate flags on it. Am I to destroy something I earned just because it has a flag on it? Stupid. But they came down here, and the white folk and the black folk and the Asian folks that live around here that have children and graduated from school, they banded together and they ran them assholes out of town. Said, we ain't having that shit here. Sense of pride down here in the South that people have, especially when it comes to school pride. My high school produces athletes. At least it did. A lot of them went on to go play in the NFL, be baseball stars, Josh Reddick, stuff like that. So my hometown produces prime athletes. But we take a sense of pride in our school down here, and nobody's going to strip us of that. But as we see, this goes on throughout history. Organizations, groups, same damn people get together and they think that they can change people's perspectives of how they live their lives by removing certain articles of history. And it doesn't work like that. As we are always told, those that don't know history, those that remove history, are doomed to repeat it. You're not going to change people's skin color even if you breed everybody together. There's still going to be certain shades of people. It's just the way humans are. And when the first guy seen the other guy that was a different color, he's like, wait a minute, we different. Now who's smarter? Who's better? And I guess from that point on, it took off from there. I judge an individual by their intelligence, by their morals, not by their skin color. I've never had a black person try and break it off in me. Now, I've had a lot of black friends, had a lot of Arab friends, a lot of Asian friends. I've had white people try and rip me off and steal and throw me under the bus and fuck me over. Never had no black folk do it to me. Maybe I'm just cool that way. Maybe they were just cool that way to me. But I've had more white people try and do it to me than anybody else. I'm not shunning on white people. It's just a sense of loyalty, I guess, that I've earned with certain people. I see people all over the news, all over YouTube, all over social media, race baiting, throwing fuel on this fire. The way I see it, if that's the route you want to go, then understand you are helping to draw the line. And when you draw that line, understand, don't cross your line. Because you're wanting me not to cross it. Don't you cross it either. Make comments on people's vids, letting them know that you're adding to this situation. You're not helping at all. People should be building each other up. People should be discussing preparations as to what's coming. But everybody's sidetracked by the catalyst. Nobody's looking at the end result. And that tells me a lot as to where people's brains are. You're more worried about this, more worried about that, more worried about some porn star who could not be dead. Who knows? Who gives a fuck? Ain't nobody bitching about all the people shooting themselves in Chicago, Philly, Los Angeles, here in Savannah. It's all black on black crime. Watched a video earlier. Black guy talking about Black Lives Matter, which is Cambridge Analytica. But he said, the only black lives that matter are the men that marry black women and have black families and work and put into society. And I can agree with that. He said the rest of you don't matter because you're not being productive. You're causing more and more problems. You're making the crime rate and the prison systems fill up. You're having babies and not taking care of them. You're being drug addicts and thugs. He said your lives don't matter. When you look at places like Chicago, when it's black on black shootings, no. How can they actually get out there and say Black Lives Matter when Levert will shoot Earl Jr. over a dime bag of weed? I'm almost done with society. All I need is the money. And I will sell everything I need to sell and get the fuck away from everybody. Because nobody seems to get it. Nobody understands it. And nobody's even trying to. Those that do, we are few and far between. Anyhow, I hope y'all are doing well. It's a nice balmy day. Probably close to 90 degrees. And it's going to rain, so it's humid. And they didn't spray the sky so far. Anyhow, y'all be safe. It's my 2 cents.